Hello, and welcome to the Loud Poets West Heat Slam! How are we doing, Paisley? Are you well? Good, I am glad to hear it. As I said, as the intro said, my name is Mark Gallie. I will be your host for this slam this evening, and I am very, very excited. We are very, very excited to not only be able to be here to host and facilitate this slam for you, but to do it here as part of the Paisley Book Festival. What an incredible space, venue, festival by and large. Can we just get a big shout for the Book Festival? Yeah! This is so very cool to not only get to do what we are here to do this evening, but to do it in such a beautiful space and place with people that are here to enjoy poetry, enjoy a bit of art, and with like-minded people. So, how is tonight gonna go? By way of whooping, cheering, clapping, whatever noise you want to make, give me a shout if you have been to a poetry slam before. Okay. This is some of you, but a lot of the people in the front, the slammers, good, for a lot of it. Give me a cheer or a shout or an awkward woo if you have never been to a poetry slam before. You really rode that timid woo there, didn't you? I gave you the option, that is on me. Okay. So we've got a few folk that are newer to slam, some folk that have been to slams before, but might not have necessarily been to a Loud Poets one. How tonight is going to go is basically, in very, very short terms, we are going to have 3 rounds. We have 11 absolutely incredible poets for you this evening, and they are going to be fighting, competing by way of words. I feel I need to get that out of the way early because I'm going to really dive into the competitive element of this evening, and I need you to get on board with that quick. But these wonderful poets are going to be battling their way through 3 rounds. In the very first round, we will see all of our poets. They will all come up to the stage one at a time. You will see progressively less and less of me as the night goes on, as I am here to introduce poets. And then in the second round, of those 11, we are going to cut that down. The second round will only have 6 poets. And the third round will be down to a final 3, with only 1 poet being crowned the West Heat champion. We will also be announcing which one will be our runner-up of this evening, as the runner-up and the winner of tonight will go on to another slam later in the year. This is part of a much bigger slam series that we are doing that is nationwide across all of Scotland. So we have already been in St Andrews for the East Heat, partnering with Stanza. Just last week, we did the sort of the central heat in our home venue of the Scottish Storytelling Centre in Edinburgh. We are here in Paisley for the West Heat, and we will also have a South Heat down in Dumfries, a North Heat up in Aberdeen, and then a Highlands Heat up in Inverness. So we are really going as far as we can, and the winners and the runner-up of all of those slams are going to come together for our Grand Slam final in August. And why that might sound like, okay, so if they win, they're doing another slam. But there's more. So the winner of tonight will take home £200 in a prize, which they will be doing via invoice, just to say earlier on, because we want our poets to have an elated walk home, basking in their glory, not a tense worry about going home with that much money. So they will win £200, and in the Grand Slam final, the winner of that slam will win £3,000. I know what you're thinking. £3,000 for poetry in this economy? Exactly. We wanted it to be an absolutely massive prize for those poets, for those winners. But money's wonderful. But if you've been to a slam before, or if you've seen any other ones, you know that the real prize is right behind me, in that the winner will get to hoist the Loud Poets Slam Championship belt. Isn't it beautiful? You know, have a cheer for the belt. She's so fantastic. The entire slam series was not an excuse for us to buy a wrestling belt. Disclaimer, well and truly put out there. But we wanted also to be a nice, beautiful prize for our winners. So that is how the night is going to go. In terms of actually this evening, we are going to have a short interval in the middle. So after round 1, we're going to take a little 10, 15-minute break, mainly to do math. We are poets, not mathematicians. Basic addition, hard. And then we will have the second and third round in the second half. Does that all sound good? Do you sort of know what you're here for so far? Okay. I've left out a couple of key ingredients. That's how the night's going to go. But some of you, especially them that are a bit newer to poetry slams, might be like, how does this work? Because a poetry slam is effectively trying to do the impossible, and we are going to judge art. We are going to put a numerical value to poetry, and ultimately there will then be a winner crowned from that, which is a nigh impossible task. And I want to say early, and I will say a lot of times throughout the night, that the point of tonight is not the points. We will not be reading the points throughout the evening. We will be reading poets that go through and winners. But the point is not the points. The poetry is the points. So the judging will be done by three very special individuals who are more than qualified to carry out this Herculean task. First up, we have Loud Poet's Own, one of our own, the Rev. Dr. Katie Ailes. They said Reverend there, that wasn't right. Katie has a PhD specifically in poetry, so while we have that, which is a tremendous achievement, but Katie has probably seen more poetry than most people on this island, maybe in the world. So they are definitely educationally and experientially more than qualified to judge these poems. Next up, we have an incredible poet, if that was all I was allowed to say, but they are an incredible poet, an absolutely wonderful human being, and they are last year's West Heat champion. Make some noise for Gray Crosbie! And again, if winning last year wasn't proof enough that they are more than qualified to judge these poems, Gray has been one of my personal favorite poets for as long as I have known them. I know they are probably a few people in the crowd's favorites as well. And so they have been around a very long time and they know exactly what they're doing. And our third judge, I am so happy to have. They are here as part of Paisley Book Festival. So please make some noise for Jess Orr. We always like to try as best we can to have, as well as experiential voices, also voices that are involved or are part of the scene that we are doing this in. The point is not just for us to go and take poetry to different parts of Scotland, it's that we want those scenes to be represented. We want you to see here in the room, and also for the folks watching at home. Hi, folks watching at home. We record all of the slams that we are doing, and they will be released publicly on YouTube, all for free, so that if you can't make it to those individual slams, you can still follow along with the slam series. For the poets that are moving forward, you can check out your competition and see what you're up against. And just in terms of being able to provide more spoken word poetry, more art to people that couldn't be here because they were either busy today or other reasons that could be limitless. But it is fantastic that we are able to do all of that, and with that, having those scenes represented, we could think of no one better than Jess as some part of the book festival to be here. Those are your judges. Those are the people who are open for bribes, just poets, while you're all sat quite close. All been made very clear to me that bribes are not off the table. So those are your judges. Their job is to judge the poetry. They are going to be putting numbers to paper. They are going to be the ones critically analyzing sort of these poems to the best of their abilities. That means for any of the rest of you who aren't performing or judging, your job is just to have fun and to support all of the poets that are coming onto this stage. This can be a very difficult thing. Slam is wonderful for bringing in new people to spoken word or to poetry who might not necessarily have had their first experiences with it, but I like to think the competitive Thunderdome nature of this brings it in a way that other nights can. So your job is to make noise. If you enjoyed a poem, go absolutely wild, applaud it, cheer when they're done. You're all smart people. Use your own common courtesy here. But that is what you need to do. Do you think you can do that, audience? See, I asked, and I realize I've thrown a lot at you, but this is Loud Poets. I don't think I miss it, but that gives you the job. You do have a job now of being the loud crowd. Your job is loud. Okay, so I want you to try that again for me. I want you to imagine that the person who's just been up to this mic has just absolutely bared their soul and delivered an absolutely 10 out of 10 incredible poem. Show me what that sounds like. Perfect. Thank you very much. You have understood the assignment. Good. So I think that is pretty much all. That is how the night is going to go. Those are our judges. I am going to read out the names of our poets for the first round, just to sort of give you an idea of who's going to be going on. I will be going up in between. And then after I've introduced them, we are going to introduce our sacrificial poet to the stage. But just to let you who haven't been to a poetry slam beforehand get confused about what that means, I'm going to read out the order first. So, okay. And we are going to do one big clap and cheer at the end of the names. This is the second that we did this slam last year. We've done it again. This is slam number 3, and we have yet to achieve a communion. There's always one. I know the intrusive thoughts are already creeping in. Let's see how we go. So this will be the order. We're going to clap it once at the end. So in the first round, we will have Emma Claire, Fiona Jane, Michael J., Louis Keys, Joe Logue, Robbie McLeod, Spencer Mason, Leah Newland, Gordon Powery, Neve Scott, and Biff. You may now cheer. Excellent, wonderful. So that is the order that they will be going up in, and that is your first round. But I mentioned a sacrificial poet, and I left you stewing a little bit of that because I thoroughly enjoy all of the confusion of certain bits of tonight. So some folk are going, you told me it was going to be poetry, and now I'm slightly scared about what's about to happen. The term sacrificial is largely thematic. Is what we're going to do is, like I said, this can be very, very difficult. And the poets that will be coming up, some of them will have been in countless slams. Some may have won multiple slams. For some, this may be their first slam. But coming up to this mic and sharing can be very, very difficult. So the idea of the sacrificial poet is to warm up the mic, to get you guys in that space, in that mood, and get you truly ready for some poems. So our sacrificial this year is also one of our judges. I have introduced them a little bit already, but I am so pleased every time I get to introduce them to the mic to absolutely blow you away with their work. As I said, they have been a long-time favorite of mine. Every time I see them, it invokes it's like a new emotion, whether that is incredible belly-aching laughter to deep weeping. So we will see what state I am in after this. But for now, I want you to put your hands together and go absolutely wild for your sacrificial poet. It's Gray Crosbie!
It's pretty spot on height. You got the mic great there. Usually it's like up here and I'm like wrestling it down. Hi, I'm Gray. It's great to be here. I had a brilliant time at the Paisley Book Festival last year, and every time I'm with live poets, it's always amazing. So it's really exciting that these two have come together and to be part of it. I'm really looking forward to hearing everyone's poems. But yeah, I'm going to do a poem first to start things off. This poem's called #Top Surgery. My favorite corner of the internet is Instagram #Top Surgery. A gallery of post-op topless trans men selfies. It is the only gender reveal party I ever want to attend. I love especially the ones where the subject doesn't look at the camera, but instead down to where their fingers can't help but trace their scars. Souvenirs of long journeys, faces wearing a look of wonder as though asking, have I finally arrived here? I am a trans masculine person. Sometimes I too want top surgery. Because chest binding, if you've never done it, can be pretty fucking shit. The euphoria is top notch, but I hate that it comes at the cost of backache and half-full lungs. I hate that I never bother to build muscles because I think it's no fun if I can't show them off. I hate how the interruption of two swells can spoil an otherwise brilliant outfit. I hate the swimming pools I don't visit. I hate that I hate summer now. I hate that no matter how many times I smash like on those #top surgery selfies, the jealousy doesn't ease. I hate that deep down, I know, I genuinely believe that surgical risks like skin necrosis and infection are preferable complications to a stranger in the men's toilet noticing my chest. And all of this, the thing I don't actually hate are my breasts. In the mirror from like another person's perspective, yes, but not from where I see them. There's been times even I've caught them at a certain angle wearing shadows just right, seen far too small and entirely too big and strangely, perfectly me. And I imagine them lopped off, lying where they're dropped in a medical waste bin, despite the lost connection, nerve endings still firing wild signals, screaming, something's not right, do you feel this? I hate that it seems easiest to cut apart my body rather than break my idea of a man mold. I know I shouldn't want to fit, but I do. And I think just around the corner, there could be a future where we tear apart the gender templates and all chests can be topless, all nipples sun-kissed and free. But maybe there's not. Just like there wasn't around the last corner or the corner years before that. And I think I should just stop hesitating before it's too late and I become one with the backache and the half-full lungs, settle it into self-hate, never try out muscles even just for fun, miss a lifetime of summer swimming and never get my own #top surgery selfie, where I look down and wonder, touch my own scar souvenirs, ask, did I finally arrive here?
Make some noise for Gray Crosbie! An incredible poem from an incredible poet, and I can think of no better way to start us all off. So, judges, are you ready? Poets, are you ready? Audience, are you ready? Then let's get started. Round one. Yeah! The rush. We are going to get started in round one. So, as I said, audience, your job is get loud, put those hands together, and give the biggest welcome to your first slammer of this evening. It's Emma Clare!
One-handed, one-hipped, but I must. Pot, stove, gas, spark, hands in, face, neck, chest, just like how they found my specs, though I left them up high. Just like how they found the laundry, washed and now dry. Just like how they found your nappy and went in there. God, why? Sigh. Lob of butter in the pot. Now slip you down for just a minute. Only a minute. Please, could you give me just one whole minute? But you're under my feet, tugging my legs. A chorus of up, up, up tears my patience to threads. And after a morning of suggesting another, and gently redirecting, and offering an alternative, and giving a distraction, and saying let's not, and saying no thank you, and saying please no, and saying not that, and saying please stop, and could you stop, and now stop, I say stop it. Sharply. So I can crack an egg. So I can feed you some lunch. So I can put you to sleep. So I can clean up your mess. So I can reset the day. So I can wake you up so that you'll sleep tonight. So you're under my feet. And I grab that egg. Tap. Split. Pour. Oh shit. There's shell. Please stop tugging. Stop dragging. Stop plugging. Stop nagging. My hands are yuck. Your hands are yuck. The bin is yuck. Your bum is yuck. Don't touch, get the egg. No, yuck, get the egg. Just a minute, get the shell. I'm right here, get the shell. And I grab the pot by the wiggly handle that I keep forgetting to fix. And I swing the whole thing right over my head and smash it against the bricks, screaming at it to fuck right off. Except that I don't. I don't. I wash my hands. I scoop you up. I show you again how scrambled eggs work. And you say eggy eggs or something close and give me a gentle hand stroke on my nose and start to sing munchy, munch, munch. Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Today there is shell in your lunch.
Emma Clare, everyone! We are off to an amazing start, so we are going to keep that going. So please make all the noise and welcome to the stage your next slammer. It's Fiona J!
Translations for this poem are Hagil Akamurst and Kohamte, which both mean I love you. My love and I come from different tongues. Her words and mine come from different lungs, but when they meet mid-air, they stick to each other, unaware they're not supposed to click like they do. There was no Sapphic on my Polish tongue before I put it there, and there was no Sapphic in her Gallic words before she chose to share her love with a woman. Hagul Akamurst doesn't sound the same when it travels from one pair of glitter-covered lips to another. And no matter how much love I put in Kohamte, it still feels punishable until it reaches her face and slips down her chin. It's easy to love her in English, a language we both chose, a language that doesn't make it difficult to feel close, breast to breast, hand in hand, her soft yes, my demand, purple flowers on my hips, dirty looks on her lips, silky air on my skin, repercussions, paper thin. When we're done, her eyes close. I place kisses on her nose. Morning sun, she leaves our bed. Shame and guilt are long dead. Only proof she was there. Ordinary, dark brown hair. Sapphic love sounds right in English. Softness that my native speech could only wish for. If I whisper in her ear, smakuje się jak świeże brzoskwinie zanurzone w Bałtyku, it burns my tongue. Because this tongue is not supposed to know what a woman tastes like. But when she hears that she tastes like fresh beaches dipped in Baltic Sea, it burns her loins like a loving tongue should. If she tells me, skrivi mi minergal ost, erga ach, and she says it doesn't make much sense, but when I hear that she wants to leave love notes on every inch of my body, it makes my throat tense in the nicest way possible. My words feel wrong and her words feel out of place until they bind into a quiet explosion of queer love. Mother tongue would never let it make a sound. Thank you.
Jane! I can already tell this is going to be a belter of a slam, and let's see how much more we get. I say that as we go through. So it sounds like this. I'm glad you see less of me as I fumble over my words. Our next poet, I'm sure, will not follow by my example. So please, let's get loud and welcome to the stage your next slammer, Michael J.
Address to the ableists. I'm the type of person the government won't let you forget. I'm the benefit claimer, the leech, the country's biggest regret. Uneducated, uncivilized, underneath you. I'm faking everything. Bet you already knew. I'm just wanting handouts, taking all that I can. Got a spare tenner, does she? It's my next cruise to Amsterdam. I'm the reason you can't get a seat on the train. Young people like me have no right to be in pain. This disability, it's all in my head. I'm more than likely better off dead. Cost of living going up higher than before to fund immigrants, scroungers, and folk pretending they're poor. No job, no family. Your taxes keep me alive, and I thrive. Not having to earn my keep. Don't have a go at me. It's not that deep. You chose your life. I chose mine. I'm hardly committing a crime. In reality, that's what they want you to think. How lower could our government sink? Hounding us in a modern day witch hunt. Say it with me. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced. Politician. What does he know? The ignorant swine. It's like we're going back in time. Back to the old days where life was so dark. Those in power preying on us like a shark. The rich getting richer, the poor being shunned. The Tories are who your taxes really fund. The people who pull the strings that talk bollocks on the telly, making you choose between heat or food in your belly. I didn't choose all this. I just want to live. And I'm sorry that I don't have much to give. But please don't blame me for this country going to shit. The people you put in power are the cause of it. Thank you.
Make some noise for Michael J. Incredible stuff. I think I thoroughly enjoyed everyone learning a little bit about the person next to them during that poem. Fantastic stuff. Thank you. We are going to go into our next slammer. So you know the drill by now. Make all that noise. Get those hands together and welcome to the stage, Louis Keys. Oh, you're tall.
Hello. So I'm the one that's here to sufficiently lower the tone, right? And I thought I'd try and get in for the judges, right, and try and get a little extra points in with my Paisley shirt. I don't know if you noticed, extra points. So this is my poem, right? It's about state bureaucracy. I'm sure that's something you'll, love out there, and fucking Paisley, obviously you must, because you're rich and that, It's called Ministry, right, and it's my poem. Peter Mando did manhandle me. That's because I'm his little deputy. So carry my bags for me, you over-medicated flunky. Or over-medicated health food junkie. I'm a flea to Pope Gregory. I live under the threat of neo-popery. I'm an ignorant wee Pharisee who wants to forever sully the bloodline of my host country. Falling apart like a biscuit in tea. I take my paranoia too seriously. It's a pseudo-religion of queen and country. My wife-to-be, starting a line bigger than the entirety of a thee. Ching dynasty. I take my paranoia too seriously. Please tread softly, because you're treading on my balls, and it is agony at the ministry of dysentery, which your shite degree ever done for me is a limp to my empiric victory. And you're clamping my nipples to a car battery. I have the temporal causality of an acid casualty. Annie Lennox is too good for me. That's because my mouth is a unisex lavatory for all to use. So dismiss thee for indignatory. Your pussy's an internationally renowned delicacy. I'm an ignorant wee fallacy who wants to forever sully the bloodline of my host country. I'd rather shag Senator McCarthy than ever kiss a commie at the ministry of dysentery, which a shite degree ever done for me. Monica Lewinsky sat upon my knee, reading out a copy of the Philistine prophecy. But watch out, here comes Hillary, and Bill Clinton's personal secretary. I'm from an age of chivalry. My temptee, so empty. I want to fall in love so madly, searching for an allegory as he's handing you a key. But don't be so fucking second century. We're all bisexual to some degree, sucking on the tit of hypocrisy. I'm bunged up in Kilburney Infirmary with the shadow Home Secretary. I'll marry a prosy in East Germany, because every lesbian's secretly a straight lassie that wants to break free with the angels of chastity at the ministry of dysentery, which a shite degree ever done for me. I got a fucking, I got a job at this year piss factory, but all that I got was a diseased kidney. Thank you.
Louis Keys, everyone! Tremendous stuff. And one of the more creative ways I've seen to try and bribe judges, I have to say, with the Paisley shirt. Great, great job. Okay, our next slammer welcoming to the stage. I want you all to give a big, big round of applause. You know the score. And welcome, Jolos!
I didn't think I was going that fast. Is that locked in? No. It's okay, it happens to us all.
This never happened before, everyone.
Just drink less next time. The power. There's a poison running through me. Ink courses through my veins. I think a little bloodletting might just keep me feeling sane. And see where the ink is spilling? I'm going to do something fulfilling, like write a fairy tale from the perspective of a villain. I could write a love letter to an enemy. Hate mail to my best friend. I could write that honest email to my boss that I'm too scared to send. I could revive a long-dead relative and change their final narrative. I just write and write till my hand bleeds, compulsive as an addict is. Now, for a minute, let's pretend that I didn't pick up that pen, that I didn't have this outlet or a way to clear my head. I wouldn't even be here. I'd be devoid of hope. I'd be in a suit, in a box, with a necktie, made of rope. But I touched the edge of life, but then a soft voice called me back, and come hell or high water, I won't go back to that. This art is the one true therapy, the only thing that gets to me, that fuels a fire and inspires me to leave a legacy. I'm lucky to have this skill that so many others don't, this coping mechanism that just makes the voices stop, that shuts up that wee whisper that asks, what are you doing this for? You're writing shite, and it's not like you'll find a single listener. But I'm focused on my work. I barely even notice. The task is all that matters, because that's where the hope is. He struck mute when I scroll. It's not his game. I've got the ball. I can't hear his voice at all. But see, the minute I stop, that's when he calls. But see, this life. Life's a fight. And inside you is a weapon, one that I've mastered, and I'm giving lessons. You just write and write until you feel right, until those feelings start to lessen. And if you can't do it, speak out loud. I promise, mate, some way, somehow, it will resonate with someone around who's felt the way you're feeling now. And once it's out there, you'll feel free. Light in your heart and on your feet. There's always a better place to be. And if you hear, man up, send them to me. But this is something you learn only through pain and heart. And when that facade falls away, you'll see what you're worth. You can have these eyes if you can't see it for yourself. This battle, it's not yours alone. It's our mental health. Thank you.
Hello, everyone! Oh, wonderful stuff, and I appreciate the forgiveness for my mic impotency, let's call it then. It's on camera now, I can't take it back. Wonderful, thank you so much. We have 5 poets from the first round down. We have 6 more to go, making their way to the stage now. Whoop, holler, shout, and cheer for Robbie McLeod! Oh, you're so damn tall.
Listen, she never learned how to kiss me properly. Baby, I've got luscious lips. Even my dentist says it. True story. Almost. Technically, orthodontist. Close enough, though. See, my kiss can be honeysuckle sweet, but she was just in a hurry. You've got to take your time with me. You don't get yourself a hot chocolate with whipped cream and marshmallows on top to quench a simple thirst. I'm to be savored. And let me just say, for the record, if the other boys could kiss like me, darling, there'd be anarchy. Because when you take time with these lips of mine, you'll find my goods are glorious. I'm not one of these guys who's going to try and pulverize your skull. Our teeth should not be involved in this. I hate the dentist, technically orthodontist. And I hate teeth. That's why I let mine paint themselves yellow like international sex symbol Darth fucking Maul. And if they feel the need to, I let them fall out. They are not the most important part of my mouth. Pennies in the air. Which brings me to the tongue of this single asterisk, sinful asterisk, trilingual asterisk. But I don't think yous are ready for that particular liquor, not even for just the tip. So, for now, let's meet at the lips. Listen, I'm just saying my kiss has been directly compared to certain hallucinogenics. So, you don't have to fall for me, but I'd love to know if you might just like to trip. Thank you.
Give it up for Robbie McLeod! I wish my dentist or orthodontist said nice things about me. But then if you can't tell by the length of this beard, I haven't seen my own lips in about 8 years at this point. So there could be anything other there. We could be fully Chuck Norrising it at this point. Fantastic. Our next performer making their way to the stage. Let's have a big round of applause for Spencer Mason! Yeah.
How's your childhood? Thought so. Mine's is a smile like the screech needing unplugged before the microphone is even switched on. I'm the gravelled fraction of a voice unstayed, no matter the mortar nor meter of the wall. A patchwork scrapbook of Frankensteinian childhoods, my forearm telling of more lives than many bipeds have lived, and donned in the grin of someone who expects to not be accepted. Oh, skin surfaced as the moon, each callous and wart a shining miracle from across the sticks. Yes, I am the roaring laugh that cozies vertebra on the post-pub trudge, words smudged like a sucker punch filled with truth, and eyes that drip with every type of silence, but none like the hush and moan of kissing your lit words back to your lungs. Yes, silence. Silence and witness this. I am the only person you know that can park a bus upon my face. With my aircraft carrier nose that guides iris like homing missiles, compliments on cruise control. Oh, witness as my helipad for hecklers makes harassments bounce harmlessly asunder. These hoodlums brushing their teeth with the pavement as they realize that I am the only person you know that can use their nose as a dildo. Yes, the only one to make with mere glance your girlfriend gasp orgasm. I am the stereotype hoodwinker who sucks stanzas and sonnets through a spliff as skimpy as I, scribbling songs on a snap G-string and harmonic chord progressions across her body. I am the only person you know that can take their diagnosis one step forward and be called tripolar. I, the gluttonous goblin who gobbles every garnish, gallivanting all gallus round gaffs and Gucci garments and a half-smoked wrap. Oh, I know I am cool without it being a fetishization of rudeness as my helm protrudes my face with these two polymorphic abyss where fresh air comes to die. Each tiny turn of my head gracelessly blocking out the sun or interrupting another kiss. I am the one on whose face you will miss to sit. I am the only person you know whose nose can bring sexual bliss.
Mason, everybody! I'm going to employ a wee technique that I stole from a wonderful poet called Jack McMillan, which is just, I would like you all to take a deep breath with me because I need one, so you're going to join me. So 1, 2, 3, and in. Oh, and out. I should do that more often. Fantastic. Great stuff. We have 4 more poets in our first half. So please give all the love and welcome to the stage, Leah Newland. There we are.
Oh, that's perfect. This is a 3-part poem,
and this is part 1. I'm being cheeky. I am the data man calls sorrow, the ghost of a future promised tomorrow. A flowing, terror-bound spasm in its unending throes, inherited from a balding bland land where nothing ever grows. With the trees dead and bereft, I wonder how much time I have left of my history toiling here in a world called theft, where the dead never settle till they've paid their debts to the nameless thoughts, captive and kept by investors vested in blood, sweat, sickness, and dread. The blameless, the shameless, the downright dangerous, missteps to dress in the glad rags of remembrance. Frivolous belligerents should be sentenced for negligence, our deadbeat dad of a country called ignorance. Serves us the parliamentary emblem of a nation disguising its misery under the pretense of false memory. Behind the kitsch taglines and despots, figureheads of falsity, hosting hostility, signage for BBC. Bite-sized to condense the contents of its resentments, akin to fascist statements of statists and racists, child rapists and sadists, abatements abound. I am losing all patience. Systems of corruption insist that economic corruptions take precedence over health interruptions. From Bristol to Brexit, Belfast to Biscay, the butchering of our blue-bodied production, the bycatch we drain, to the blood shrimp harvested by modern-day slaves, of fraudulent fisheries framed by the fiscal and dismal dismissal of abysmal officials playing with missiles. Our gumption for decency crumbles in dysfunction, for fools who bumble down hell-bound junctions, the spawns of never-ceasing consumption. Fly the flags, fried-back children with shoulders that sag, stunned into seminal siege, each skull screwed into scrum, the six-seething scum breaching, forever leeching, yet never reaching in its seeking, back to the father of its birth. Their big bad daddy who fucked our earth, bless ye. Big Daddy Groveler, hungry and desperate, dives in for the feed he must beseech. Undo her truth unto his ear, but Goddess blessed insists she stay dressed. So in the heat of his envy and hatred, yielding from power's force, his conceit spills into fists the rest, and wrought the blood from mother blessed soil, unfolding her breast. Once unimpressed, now a body undressed, in the shadow of our big bad daddy groveler, our offshore rigs pissing all over her. Freud would be proud. You careen at the thoroughfares now, to find through rough affairs you're knout, but a toddling bin who cannot shout, as our ministers flout the lux latency, stuffing their mouths. Thank you.
Give it up for Leah Newland! Tremendous job, and using a part 1 of a poem in a slam. Genius, the intrigue alone. But we have a few more poets who have yet to make their way to the stage. So we have 3 left. Our next poet coming up to the stage. Again, you know what I want, audience. I feel by now I've been very, very clear. So I want you to be super loud. Get those hands together and welcome Gordon Powdy!
Are there any parents out there ever felt an unexpected surge of protectionist urges when your teenagers started dating? Well, this isn't about that, it's about cats. Doing my bit, the back door is a jungle. A wild habitat brimming with all manner of species living peacefully and humble under my benign malfeasance, even the foxes and rats. But just one species consistently peeves me, the cats. When I first moved in, the undisputed alpha cat at the back door was this great big black and white grizzled Tom. One big mean eye, slit green, peering, keen and evil. The other gone, shut, clawed up. The absolute epitome, a tough cat, top trumps. But then one day, I hear a kerfuffle, a struggle, a rumble in the jungle. There's a new cat on the block, Dexter. Everything that follows is true, by the way. I'm not just making this up as some weird allegory because I'm too insecure to talk about the challenges of culturally inherited ideals of patriarchal masculinity. Hardly. It's about cats, Dafty. Anyway, neither one of these cats is going to back down, so it becomes the big showdown, and they both throw down. Turning, whirling, shrieking, piercing, fur flying, sinking their teeth in, and then he's beaten. The grizzled Tom turns to run, staggers, limps, admits he's done. I never saw him again after he went through the hole in the fence. But Dexter, it's a whole other set of events. Cleopatra, our house cat, is my feline ward, under my protection and guidance. But as all wards do, they wander. And even though I keep on trying to keep her away, she keeps on ending up staring out the back window. And then one day, there's my Cleopatra pressed against the back window pane. And there's Dexter outside, balanced on the ledge precariously with his wee kitty boz, grazing my double glazing suggestively. So I said, "Give me that fucking window, you wee bum!" But there was no response for the bold Dex other than giving my Cleopatra an extra flex of his pecs. So I'm like, "What is this, Dex's Midnight Express? I've had enough. I'm out the house, I'm down the stairs, I'm out the back door, and I go chimp mode, chasing Dexter through the undergrowth, bellowing guttural roars. And from that day forth, I was on patrol, the new alpha cat on the prowl. Marking my territory, warning wanderers with grunts, growls, the occasional showers, and people would say, "Powers, are you sure you haven't went too far?" And I'd say, "No." And if I see that Dexter again, I'm going to boot his wee kitty boz. At least that was until this epilogue. See, sometime later, with Dexter's owners apparently done got up and gone, which at least kept my Cleopatra safe for that Widows once, I thought. But truth be told, they had a bold character and a cheeky wee face. And my wife points out maybe that means that our wee baby is in fact entitled to her own good taste. But, you know, that would suggest that all that time that I've spent on patrol was a waste. So let's don't get carried away. It's just about cats, innit? Sake.
Give it up for Gordon Powery! An amazing piece about cats and definitely nothing else. As the owner of a now 6-month-old dog, I'm definitely relating to, there's a lot of nasty cats kicking about. I don't mean a lot of nasty dogs, but there's a lot of nasty cats. I'm just saying. Cats in the audience, sort your reputation out, come on. We have but 2 poets left in the first round, and you have been so good at keeping that energy level up. I only ask it for a little bit more in this half. So please give it your absolute all as we welcome your penultimate poet, Niamh Scott!
Thank fuck that got adjusted for me. I was trying to figure it out earlier. It was impossible. It was so hard. It was probably harder than the poem I'm going to read right now. It's a wee one, and it's about one of my great loves in life, the Glasgow 900 megabus. Yeah. Have you ever been on the Glasgow 900 megabus, by the way? Fucking hell. Have you been sober on that bus? Yeah, if you said yes, you're fucking lying. So, fittingly, this poem is called Love Mandy. Megabus rumbles down straight line nocturne new build street, the megabus, where you see that every bit of Britain is made from the same Lego set. Not just the bus, the megabus. You're on it, car bonnet, up the back, bitty, bitter, pretty pill back dripping down your exhaust pipe, your pie hole, skies blown up, black hole, wire your jaw shut with caustic, invisible elastic, angels all around you, angels in the back seat, in the plastic, and their light and wicked fingers glide through your hair, through the air above their heads, up their arms, up your arms. How soft is your charity shop dress? How soft is the cheese string, lukewarm from the 24-hour news agents? How very like rubber it is, how very down your gullet now, where the stalactites ring in white hang just shy of gnashing teeth and gingivitis and hot pink spittle punched in the mouth, run down your chinny chin. Bitty, bitter, pretty pill goes down like a lead balloon with you, your face upturned to the bright blue sun. Thank you.
Niamh Scott! Oh, tremendous. As someone that has spent many, cumulatively probably months on megabuses at this point, I appreciate the shouts to the megabus. Okay, we have come to our final poet in round one. Like I say, you guys have been doing great. You have been wearing that loud crowd badge of honor with absolute pride. I ask it for one more time in this half before we let you go away and get a wee drink, go for a pee, or do something, or do whatever you want. I'm a host, not a cop. But for now, you do have to put those hands together and make all the noise for your final poet of round one. Bring it down for Bev!
This poem is a note to self and self-pep talk before going on to perform poems in public. This is called Tell It Like a Song. Walk it. Walk it better than you talk it. And only talk it if you really have to. Unless the talk is part of the walk. That's okay. But above all, keep moving. You will be harder to shoot that way. Keep moving. Walk. Scoop. Jump if you can. Run if you have to. But to dance is better. To dance is always better. So, own your bones, every last weary creak of them. And when you walk it like a dance. When you talk it, tell it like a song. When you sing it like a poem. Yeah, come on, it's your song. Sing it like a poem. Your tale, tell it like a song and dance. Keep dancing, you will be harder to shoot that way. Keep dancing, you will be harder to shoot that way. Keep dancing, you will be harder to shoot that way. Keep dancing, you will be harder to shoot that way.
Make some noise for Bev! Oh, wonderful. That has been our first round. Can I just get one massive round of applause for all of the poets you've seen? I can already tell from that first round that this has already been an incredibly hard-fought slam, that whoever moves forward from the first round to the second round, third round, and fourth will absolutely have deserved it. But who will move forward into the second round? Who will go on to hoist the belt and be the the West Heat champion? Well, we'll find out after the interval. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a quick 10-minute break or thereabouts. The wonderful staff will keep you in line. That sounds worse than it's. We're in the slam. They'll keep you in line. But yes, we are going to take a 10-minute break to do some of the math that I am sure is going to be incredibly close. But we will see more slammers and more wonderful poetry in the second half. But we will see you then. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second half of the Loud Poets Witty Slam! Yes! Good, you've remembered your training from part one. Did we have a good break? Did we all go get... Did someone say no? This is the poets at the front. They're like, no, this has been 10 minutes. It was too long. It was entirely too long. Why would you make us wait so long before we find out who's gone through? And I do know who's going through. The beautiful panto. There's a panto crowd in you, I know it. No. I always have to check at this point. So, before I read out the scores, though, I do just want to say, I told you, you were warned thoroughly. But yes, just before I read out the scores, I do just want to say that it was very much impressed upon me and has been the case through all of these slams, that often the difference between let's say last place, so 11th place and 6th place, so going through to the second round, is often decimals or very, very small points. The margins are so small. So I do want to take this opportunity again to say, well done to all of the poets that have performed this first half. Can we just get a massive round of applause? Because they have all been wonderful, and I do just want to say that, and I think I can tell, our judges can tell, the audience can tell, that just from that first round, you are all incredibly talented poets and performers. And so regardless of who does move forward, these scores and this way of judging, it is not an exact science. We are doing our absolute best here, but it is in no way to take away. If you do not move forward, obviously, commiserations, but it could have gone a lot, any sort of number of different ways. So, without further ado, because I'll get to do this twice more, So I'm going to ramp you up to it. I am going to read, and they will be performing in this order. So the order in the second round is a reverse of the order that they would have gone, that they went in the first half. Say your words properly, Mark. So I will not be announcing scores. I will just be announcing the poets that are through in the order that they are performing in, and we will do one round of applause at the end. You guys have nailed it so far. You will go down in history if you can manage it all night of being the crowd that listened. So, going through to the second round are Gordon Powery. I knew I'd get you. I knew I'd get one of you. I knew you'd get one. Gordon Powery, Leah Newland, Spencer Mason, Joe Logue, Fiona Jane, and Emma Clare. They are your second round poets. A massive congratulations if you are moving forward into round 2. Commiserations for those that didn't go through, but as I say, it was fractions in it. So please do not feel bad at that first round. I am so glad I get to just host rather than do the judging here. And I know that the next rounds are going to be even more hard fought. But to give our second round poets just a bit of a moment, I know there's at least one that was like, I wasn't expecting this. I don't have a second poem prepared. Or I'm not sure what I'm going to do. We are going to give them a few minutes to compose themselves or have a little think. And we are going to welcome back our incredible sacrificial poet. So please put those hands together and go absolutely wild for Gray Crosbie!
Smashing it. Hello again. Wow, it's been such an amazing night so far. Well done to everyone who's been performing. Not made judging easy at all. I'm going to do our poem. I did try and print off a nicer copy of this before I left, but my printer wasn't having it. I just realized it looks like I've been trying to eat this. I swear I've not. This is a new poem, really new poem. I think it's not even got a title. New. Yeah. What do you do with that wasteland patch of time when you're lying there just waiting on him putting on the condom? What do you do with your hands and your face? Does it send the wrong message if you allow your muscles to relax and you close your legs? What do you do with your thoughts? I assume you're probably supposed to keep them on sex, but my brain can and has covered topics such as, could I pull off a turtleneck? My survival plans if I was ever caught in quicksand, the Bermuda Triangle, the Doppler effect, is quicksand even real? Tsunamis, the Pope-mobile. What the fuck do people mean when they say bi-weekly? The Black Plague, Blackpool Tower, breakfast, lunch, dinner, death. The time it takes to put on a condom isn't super long, but it's also not nothing. I'm guessing it'd be time enough to complete a short task such as drink a glass of water, brush your teeth, check the smoke alarm batteries, check your breasts for lumps, check the life jacket under your seat, wait for the green man instead of risking it, empty your Amazon basket, water a plant, unsubscribe from that clothing mailing list, book in for your overdue smear taste, make your bed, take your meds, straighten that squint picture you've just now noticed beside his head. In the time it takes to put on a condom, how many lines of poetry could I write? Like 10? Maybe 20? If every time I instead wrote 50 words of prose, could I compose a whole novel before I die? If I did complete a whole novel, does that make me a slut? While he puts on a condom, I estimate it is time enough to uncork a bottle of wine, pick a random city in the UK and buy a train ticket, run and leap and plummet off the cliff edge, even though you aren't sure of the rock situation in the water below, roll and light a ciggy, even though you've quit, drive a car from 0 miles per hour to speeding fine, play chicken on a train line, swallow salt, tequila, lime, rack up lines, banknote sniff, finally text your mother back, even though you're off your tits. And at time it takes to put on a condom, is it enough time to do something drastic like change your mind? I often wonder if those foil packets with their slippery as fuck stubborn fiddliness are designed that way, to create just enough space to muster, if not perhaps the words exactly, at least the courage. Is it time enough to cancel the train ticket and rethink the wine, to stop on the cliff edge and stub out the cigarette, stick to the speed limit and walk feet back from the train lines, ditch the tequila, add the salt to some chips and the lime to water? You've already had enough power. But maybe still text back your mother, who may or may not approve of the fact you're fucking another stranger off Grindr. There might be better, but there's definitely worse ways to spend your time than being a slutty bottom. You only live once, and anyway, hey, at least we're using condoms. Thank you.
Let's have it one more time for Gray Crosbie! And these are the reasons I love poetry. So very thought-provoking. And I know a few folk are going to be like having their own lists as they exit the show today. So I'm very, very happy to hear for that. Thank you so much, Gray. Okay. Judges, are you ready? Poets, are you ready? Audience, are you ready? Then let's get into round 2. Oh, I don't know when it happened then. Damn. Was it spot on? Beautiful. Fantastic. Second round is going to be much like the first, but with less poets. We know our poets. I will go through the order just one more time for our poets. First, we will have Gordon, then Leah, then Spencer, Joe, Fiona, and Emma. So please, for the start of round 2, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Gordon Bowdy!
This one's a love poem. It's called Mushroom Pizza Love Trip. Is it an outward conscience or an outward consciousness that makes simple interactions seem beyond us? Secret codes, dyad nodes, interpreted signals, and package loads are spontaneous, but the signal's extraneous. Dissociation might be the name for this feeling I've got that I haven't got. Adequate capacity beyond neurotic thoughts. Is it a chemical imbalance? A nihilistic romance depressed by the nature of will and chance? It could be the mushrooms we put in that music festival snack van pizza. God, isn't that sunset beautiful? Doesn't it make all your dreams come true? And god damn, what is that music? I've heard it before, but not like this. On a mild summer's evening, sensing the sunset and not seeing or feeling, but actually sensing a certain state of perfection that is here and now or there and when. It doesn't matter. Time folds in itself. A fourth dimension perfectly reflecting and refracting our subatomic energy, for I'm not alone. There she is. As the crowd parts and fits and starts in smooth slow motion conducted at light speed, our hearts connect. She moves in time in warm abandon, wearing yellow wellies and a patchwork hand-woven crochet blanket that radiates rainbows from its cast-off colour scheme as I glide across a perfect world to be by her side, and we're one with one another. We move together and we stare deeply into each other's eyes, and I realise I've never looked so deeply into anyone's eyes, and while I would normally shut down and hide from such unguarded intimacy, I find this isn't scary, it's just natural. I just feel her. And I feel the pit of my stomach, vibrating, resonating, percolating, sublimating herself and myself as our energies harmonise effortlessly. And I feel total and utter happiness. And so time passes, imperceptibly penetrating our mutual rhythms. I close my eyes for a second. When I open them, we're on a hill and we're holding hands. And we're giggling like children, awestruck by the beauty of fireworks, as if for the first time. And I squeeze her hand and I lean in. And I kiss her. Even though her eyes refused to remain the same size, and her lips became mine as mine became hers, and my sense of self was unravelled, unwound, sped itself across the ground, and I became joined with everything. And I felt quite okay for the first time since whenever. And I wished upon a star that I could stay there forever, and in a way I have, because we built a life together. And I still think of it every day when together we wake, of seeing you appear in the crowd with those yellow wellies and that rainbow blanket as the sun set, and I dissociated and I radiated towards you. We became entwined, we built one shared life. Rewind, rewind, rewind. Is it an outward conscience or an outward consciousness that lets me sense the sense in this nonsense? For I started this sentence with no intent but intense remnants of the night that we spent sharing a mushroom pizza.
Gordon Powry! Kicking off round 2 strong, and we are going to keep that energy going, keep that applause going, and build it up as we welcome your next slammer. It's Leah Newland!
Part 2, remember. Ignorance rears its pig-punted head, malfracked and fucked on the reg, dram, drooling ears spill into dreg bowls of cereal, fear and famines function for all forgotten has-beens. Tongue seared, severed, black, bulging, beastly, blood belched back, supped into the bowels and bellies of bastard blight to supper delis, upper echelon lunch and munched on puke spatters of men, women, children, punch drunk for flag and cunt. Remember, your life holds no rhyme or reason beneath the bootstrapped heathen. The null producing rotten legion, speaking subtlety through gesticulations and declarations, scammers of a generation, sign language and celebration to a nation. The seas, the burning of epitaphs, above our rocketing mortality graphs, sluggishly sagging across this savage state, blistering, boiling babes of boredom. Wait, empire is a broil. Watch yourself along this strait. How does it feel to being among the withering peaks of humanity, roped red into dismal dither? With wither, so wither, if wither, no wither, you wither, I wither me, wither we, would you wither with me? In lonesome arrest, beggar of protest, urged out of rest, pinch yourself cold into the dead care of our ends. Feel the rope that rends you tethered to nether, feel the writhe of our bodies weathered together. The sacrosanct woods, HS2 levels, sap that scabs ancestral vessels. We build the bougie, their bridges, the bastard believers of business procedures. And beneath our being, bustles blind with barbarity, a suicidal savagery shuffles soundly, the signpost to saving solidarity. Under the howls of this hurricane, hulling out tragedy. Body blown and beaten, battered into scorn. You remember the child you have grown from born. The child who shudders under roars of rabid relent, unto drudgerous dealers dishing discontent of this child. We now pray you had the legs to run out from our hell under the sun. With the body that begs for the life lived in arms to the fit of our mother, now farmed in the name of our father, our son, now stony spirits. You pray for the past conceiving your end, for the truth that child you intuits to contend. In response to the fear of the end founding life, our discipline rescinds desire now rife with unbalanced gallantry. Valiance avoids now, inspiring the miring madness. We lease our demise into the death we beg never to die. Thank you.
Let's hear it from Leila Newland! Parts 1 and 2, the intrigue builds, and so does the anticipation. We have more poets in the second half, all looking to get forward to win this beautiful belt. And next up in round 2, please go wild for Spencer Mason!
Another victim of my rhythm is taking centre stage of her fragrant iris. Facade stolen for grandeur and herbs, dilapidated rhymes, Gallis's love held up against the crimes of my nature. See, it's like looking at you as a reminder that I am me, and hearing that voice, this phantom dressed in satin, reminds me that I could be we could be you, she and he could be me, is both in me, but at the end of the day, nothing would change either of us from being I. Because it's we, not reduced to an us, but emboldened as a they. Yet what if I'm already a they or a them? Processing a precarious addiction to dereliction through a leaking fountain pen, I've been replacing a needle with an ink cartridge and a gender that evolves into sex. See, when I picture I or the context of me and the context of our us, then it's me with the shaved legs dangling from a floral dress. So that with a head like death, shirtless in bed, I start to stress that maybe my sex does neglect. So I hope you never resent or regret or feel the need to repent for recompense. I beg you, can you just reassure me that you consent to wasting your time with me? With no ears and 2 fingers hovering over the self-destruct button in the dip of my titanium elbow, I try to take his advice. Work well on what you like when you can. Play fiercer than your need to be productive. Eat well with your body. Love with your tongue. I try. But see, when I want myself as you do, jarring as I find that part, boy, of my body, it is like chewing an iron scourer to clean my teeth. It is my skeletal anvil and the hammer of my father, and no matter how I try to sever these tendencies, I will always leave discrepancies like I'm a bad actor. With an inaccurate accent, accused of acting with appalling apathy like it was actually an accident, when the fact of the matter is that perhaps I'm just not very good at life. I got several suitcases, nowhere to go, the dishes won't drip, the tea towel never dries, fear of what I'll find if I reach inside the pillowcase at night. But now I'm waiting across from her lavender mouth. And yeah, my stomach is playing shitemares and my tongue is tied in a noose, and I think, well, fuck it, you can use me. Make new ravines form every crevice, I beg you, make my body yours. But she won't. She just makes it mine instead, so yes, you can pull my hair. You can rip me out of this body, these chains, and into yours. Kiss me with your calm, but fuck me with your violence, as long as you give me voice in the silence and let me choose. Thank you.
Spencer Mason! It is just getting more and more intense as we get on, and we are not going to stop now. We are only halfway through round 2. Please, welcome back to the stage your next slammer. It's Joe Lowe!
Thanks. You good? Oh. So this next one's about a common misconception about how disabled people don't work. And just so everyone knows, I hate my job as well. If you think that going to work means contributing to society, then I have half a mind to question your sobriety. There's no value in selling the earth and the sea. We're all just scrambling for scraps and pretending we're free, busting our arse in exchange for just 2 days a week where we can take a breath and then take a beat and be who we're supposed to be. We didn't climb down from trees to spend life at a desk. We didn't build shelters from the elements to sit inside depressed. We didn't leave nature behind to feel tired and stressed. There has to be more to this life with which we've been blessed. I found the meaning of life is to create what you can. Art, music, poetry. It's all creativity, man. Just add beauty to the world. Such a simple plan. And try not to let those doubts get out of hand. I give more to the world through my thoughts and my deeds than in this job that I do because I've got mouths to feed. At my funeral, they'll read my poems and not my CV. And honestly, I think that's all that I need. Thank you.
Give it up for Joe Lowe! Oh, incredible stuff. It is just nights like this when you just see such an absolute plethora of talent that I absolutely adore, that we get the chance to do this, and that you folk are here not only to support but to enjoy yourselves. So thank you all. We have 2 more slammers in the second round. So please welcome your penultimate poet in round 2, Fiona Jane!
When the day comes, bury me with all of my suffocatory, with every glitter-covered lips kisses, soft touches, eyelashes, every flutter, stutter, trip over my love for women. Bury me with every woman I loved, my first love, my last love, the girl that kissed me on the dance floor, the actress that ghosted me, the hurricane woman that would have killed me if I let her, the girl I traveled borders just to give her a rose. Let me lay for eternity with my wife. Bury me with Gillian Anderson. With Pussy Washington from Orange is the New Black, with my high school German language teacher, with black and white pictures of Lana Del Rey, with the goddamn Brienne of Tarth, and all of my other less and more obvious gay awakenings. Bury me with every avoided conversation, with every prayer wasted on my redemption, all the friends I didn't make, the friends I lost to their straightness. Bury me with all the shame that consumed me, with every time I hid behind a straight girl, with every knife, sharp, clenched teeth spat out lesba, every butterfly I killed and every butterfly I let live. All the pride that built me back up. But most importantly, bury me after I die. Because if you try to bury me alive like the woman before me, I will claw myself back up, Uma Thurman style. Bury me with the women that paved the way before me, that fought for the life that I got to live. I hope they can feel the warmth of my girlfriend's hand in my hand as we wait for the bus. Bury me with a forehead kiss from my grandmother, with an I knew that from my best friend, with a you don't have to explain yourself from an auntie I haven't seen in years. Bury me with all the acceptance I managed to gather, all the approval I fought for. Tell my daughter she doesn't need any of it. Tell her that their thumbs up don't matter. Tell her I died happy with all of my suffocatory. Thank you.
Fiona Jane, everybody! We have come to our final poet of round 2, so please keep that energy going, build it back up, and let's scream the house down for Emma Clare!
The telling of time is not as linear as you think, like a digital blink, ticking on the brink of talking, while clocking in a metronome arrangement of hands over faces on wrists that persist and insist on staying in time. Red lights change ETAs. Bad weather stretches days. Last night's curry brings this morning's delays. So let's all feel about time. Inhale. And hold till you're told that you've broken the mold of the fold of the old world you were born into. Keep it in to the brim and keep waiting on him to stay or say or go away, or have the whim that will show you it would be better to swim with those other fish in the sea than to grow dim here. Don't let go, even though you know the pain burns slow and the illness will show them absolutely no remorse or care or kindness or soften the blow after blow of a body shutting down but not yet gone, yet just remaining so close to death. Now release your breath. Or catch it. Or both. And feel that spiral, that sideways tilt, that lightheaded lilt of waiting that cannot be counted. The time it takes for a heart to wake, then a heart to break, then a heart to ache until it doesn't. Isn't time going forward with turning pages or neat little X's in well-ordered boxes? The time between sharing the space with someone you love, the then until now can exist as forever and no time at all. When you are needing that call to change your life or save your life or keep your life exactly the safe way you know it, a ticking clock changes pace, though our brains know it doesn't. So, instead of straight lines to order your time, I hope that you reach out and fill your heart to the seams, pack your lungs with your dreams, and bend all that time to your will. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Emma Clare! And let's have a huge round of applause for all of your slammers from round two! Okay, we have reached the end of the round. I can already see the judges meticulously toting up scores, and this is where the math has happened. But we're not going to go to a break for this one. So we're just going to put a lot of pressure on Katie and the calculator. But it gives me a bit of an opportunity to talk to you guys while there's people still panicking, which feeds me. But for the people that are not currently in the panic, I do just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's come here. It is not. I have to think of the way to phrase this. We've all had a lot of fun here tonight, but on a more serious note, I think it kind of goes without saying that Scottish, not just poetry, but Scottish arts is kind of in a bit of a troubling situation. We have, I'm sure, all seen or heard of various nights or institutions or festivals of, that have been long-standing, deep-rooted things that have folded either in the wake of 2020 and the pandemic, or just in terms of arts funding that has been cut. There have been so many incredible organizations and individuals. Again, for every person or thing that you have heard of someone that has had to close their doors due to a number of different reasons, there is also an absolute countless number of very, very talented poets, artists that you don't hear about who are also struggling through the same. And this is why an audience like yourselves, I just want to extend a big thank you, because it's folk like you that will keep the arts going as long as we absolutely can. And it is also, I hate to be the one to ask even more of you than you already have. You have done your part. You have come. You have bought a ticket. You have come and supported art here tonight across this entire beautiful festival. And it is so fantastic that we still have the space to do that. But there are a lot of things that are inherently kind of troubling and difficult as an artist. And you guys that are people that are here in the room really do have the power to implement more change in that. And I'm not even just meaning monetarily by going to see more and more stuff, though I do encourage you to go see whatever art, whatever poetry you can. Scotland is incredibly talented across all aspects. I know predominantly more about spoken word, and I've been doing this for about 8 years at this point, which is a drop in the ocean compared to some of the artists that have been going through. And it is just so incredibly amazing to me and impressive, the new talent that keeps coming out, the emerging talent, folk that are trying this for the first time or are coming back to it, that give this art form, that gives it meaning, that gives us energy to put on nights like this for people like you that want to come and see it. And you are already doing so much that I hate to ask more, but tell people how much you have enjoyed the art that you have gone to go see. I can We've got Edinburgh Fringe looming on the horizon, and every year I go there with a flyer and go poetry, and people go, oh, and panic, or less polite things, to be honest. I know I was one of the ones that when I first heard that spoken word poets still existed, I was amazed. But it means I can sit there and absolutely tout about how incredible, how the amazing depth of talent, how many shows there are. And I don't just mean loud poets, although like we do an awful lot in Edinburgh, in our scene, in our sector. Thank you. So, I'm not finished being emotional and being very nice. But we do a lot in and around about it. If you were interested in more of the stuff that we do, please do come talk to us. We have mailing lists and other things that you can sign up to. But it isn't just with us. I say we have been going all around Scotland, in Glasgow, in Aberdeen, in Dumfries, in all manner, even further afield to the far, far north. There is so many incredible, talented artists. And so if you have enjoyed a night like tonight, if you have enjoyed events at the Book Festival, if you've gone to an open mic that you enjoy, tell someone. Word of mouth is genuinely the absolute best way. I can list a number of accolades and it will not mean anything compared to you going, this is really good fun, or I had an amazing time. So you guys have done an amazing job. I want to personally thank you for that. I want to thank you on behalf of Loud Poets. I want to thank you of all the artists that you've seen this evening. But if you can spare that little bit of extra effort to go see more stuff and tell people how incredible it is, that is how the scene builds, how the scene grows, and how we will overcome in these very, very difficult times. I know you guys can do that. Emotional moment over. Thank you. So, your 3 finalists, and we will do one big cheer at the end. And again, I'm not going to go into the whole bit, but I did one a lot of time. There will be fractions in it. So again, for our three moving forward, congratulations, commiserations again if you didn't make it through. But your 3 finalists, and they will be performing in this order, are Emma Clare, the tiniest of we won't count it, Emma Clare, Spencer Mason, and Gordon Powery. Can I get one more round of applause for all of your round 2 slammers? And I am going to keep Paisley, are you ready for the final round? I feel like I nailed it. Did I nail it? I feel like I nailed it. Okay, fantastic. So for sure that was going to change to something else after that. We have entered the final round. These are your final poets. All that energy that you have been saving up, I want you to release it now for each and every performer. So please give all the noise for your first finalist, Emma Clare!
Thanks so much. I didn't think I'd get here. This is a love poem for the wee shit the first poem was about. It's called Bisous. You'd been here for 2 days, 2 collections of hours, where there had been some sleeping, some waking, some feeding, some getting to know each other in this world. 2 days when I learned, I realized, I found that I already knew that I could kiss you as much as I wanted. Absolutely as much as I wanted. It was acceptable, encouraged, in fact, societally, emotionally, even medically, as my kisses allowed me to absorb the microbes on your face, to turn into the magic in my body, to become the milk in my breasts that you were happily gobbling up. Oh, I could gobble you up. Inhale all of your perfect sweetness, all of your infinite possibility, all of your seemingly endless need for me and just us and just love, and I could kiss you as much as I wanted. Not too much, not too close, not beyond appropriate levels as with someone else's baby. Not overly annoyingly, like that first high school date. not more often than required, like the discarded relationships with failed lovers who made me feel like I kissed them too much. I could kiss you as much as I wanted. And I did. And I have. And I do. And only now are you starting to scramble or scrunch or occasionally scratch yourself out of it. Something to do, somewhere to go, something to show me. The gift is that now you can kiss me too. And Daddy, and Poppy, and Boily Bear, and your fish book, and the red boots, and those rocks you found. Please don't put that in your mouth. With your gorgeous face, you tilt upward, lean in, and present your lips, still learning how to pucker. My girl, you can kiss me as much as you want. Thank you so much.
Emma Claire, everyone! Kicking the final round off very, very well. We go to our second finalist, so please put those hands together and get loud for Spencer Mason!
Here I lay, my body a pestle, a layer of sand between sinew and skin, through the skylight above watching puffins ruffle themselves into hand grenades, their feathers falling like blitzkrieg shrapnel. And a feather falls between the pages of my ratty-tatty novel, and this timid wee squirming worm that crawls out indicates to me that chapter 1 is never the starting point of a story. So I'm fidgeting in chapter 5, and my body is a prophecy. All I have to do is live in it. As I gaze upward at the train's underbelly of scaffolding, curving her vertebra against the rain like sea urchins upon the tide. But by chapter 6, right, my body has been made revolution. Revulsion to these hyena eyes that drip thick globs of a cobric envy, the scorpion tail tips of their teary drool, drowning another young, not white, boy in the channel, and dissecting the diction of women until we are as articulate as "Come Dine With Me" played on mute. Crocheting this wool, aye, of amicable enough colour around our iris so that we might at least be cosy in the lies that arise from the tides of our demise. Oh, but there is itch, our hands threading for one last bit of scratch in midwinter starts and choices between eating and heating, and whether the boiler should be put on for the dishes or your body, as our semi-elected father of a diatribe religion reminds us how lucky we are to be kissed by democracy once every half decade, and his decadent wig falls to the floor so that we could almost see the cogs of his connivance, but the machine moves quick and his mouth is blinding in its boast of Brexit means Brexit when it's more of a force-fed rectal fisting, fissuring families and friends because ours is a country for the companies, and long live the fuckery. Empathy is a broadcasted facade of swarming cicadas and ingratiating love as a fakery so erroneous and pure. Chapter 8. My body is a tapestry, stitched with different sentiments, different continents, like carving different cuts of meat and placing them on one plate, the same crimson as gravy. And you remember when your mother told you, as you danced through the grime of student halls for the first time, that the more colours that there were on a plate, then the healthier a meal was. But Britain loves its batter, and its tatty, and its beige, and it would strip the horizon of her silk if it could make it routine. Thank you.
Give it up for Mr. Mason! Keep that applause going. Build it up. In fact, get even louder as we welcome the last finalist. It's Gordon Powery!
This is called Get Connected. Scroll less, touch more. Swipe less, hug more. Shop less, fuck more. Hate less, love more. Because we're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, though deep down we know there's no end to show us. Consistently replacing contentment with content, but finding ourselves less fascinated and placated by the constant content keeping us contemptibly contented. In a vacant state where light blue waves imperceptibly penetrate our circadian brains, we should scroll less, touch more, swipe less, hug more, shop less, fuck more, hate less, love more. Should we stay connected, but only remotely? Emoji emotions make the world less lonely, don't they? I've got 6 tabs open and I'm totally jonesing. I'm hoping for dopamine. Please, please show me something. I don't even mind if it's utterly disgusting. Maybe Leonard Cohen was onto something. Multitasking left and right, staying home tonight, getting lost in that hopeless little screen. Scroll less, touch more, swipe less, hug more, shop less, fuck more, hate less, love more. But instead we chase the highs of bargain buys with next day delivery that limits the sky. Am I dead inside? I want to get off this ride. I want to get outside and try living for a bit, but just give me 2 more minutes. It's this online auction a minute. I'm hoping I can win it and get something new delivered. I'll wait 6 months and then I'll bin it, but it's worth it for the winning, the confirmation pinging, the doorbell ringing, bringing a sense of elation, creating and feeding my puerile fascination with the futile idea that I can buy sensation. Get connected. Get disconnected. Get connected, get disconnected, get connected, get disconnected, get connected, get disconnected. I know that the world seems hopeless, so pointless and lonely and broken. But you are not your online personas, neither am I, neither are they. So take a break and get away from the impotent debate and the troll and rage. You're never going to convert them anyway. It's not a game, some RPG, ideology, XP earning you legendary gear. Please, here. They're actual people, and so are you. Some cliches are true when the things you think you own do end up owning you, unless we scroll less, touch more, swipe less, hug more, shop less, fuck more, hate less, love more. Scroll less, touch more, swipe less, hug more, shop less, fuck more, hate less, love more.
Give it up for Gordon Powery! And let's have a big round of applause for your finalists. They've all done incredible. Come on! I am so glad I have not had to be the judge this evening, and I dare say I'm not the only one sharing that feeling this evening. I am not going to go on too much in this bit. Again, the scoring should hopefully be a little bit quicker. All I just want to add on for that last bit is because I told you a lot of the problem of the issues, but I didn't necessarily signpost you in the best way where to go. Genuinely, the best place. We did a workshop earlier today, and one of the first things that came up was people barriers into spoken word, were not knowing necessarily where to go, or where the open mics are, or where there are more slams. So if we are your first point of call, please let us be that. Come and ask us, drop us an email, and say we have the mailing list as well. But beyond us, there are an entire front row of poets. Some of them might not be necessarily up for getting questions asked today or this evening, but the best thing you can do on top of giving money to things and supporting nights, tell a poet you've liked their work. Because money's awesome, don't get me wrong, but validation, oh, baby, is validation amazing. And so many poets I have found do not wear one hat. They have so many strings to their bow that they are no longer bows. They are harps at this point. They always have, poet, right? They have always got so many cool things going on. So please talk to a poet. Ask where they got started. Ask for nights that you can go to. There is so many nights. I know around Glasgow there is weekly open mics, so like in Deep there are monthly open mics, there are regular slams. There is so much that I do not have the time to list and name them all. Either come talk to us or come talk to a poet. There are places that you can go if you just want to watch. Then we have our YouTube channel. As I say, all of these slams are going to be going out for free, so that if you haven't been able to make it, for people that are in the north that want to watch this heat, for the people that have been at this heat that can't make it to the Highlands heat, it lets us bring all those scenes together, all those different voices from across those different scenes. It gives a place for folk to be able to engage and discuss and refine. And so those are just a few of the places that you can go, but there is so many more that I do not have the time to say and I cannot do so. But please go support your artists. Tell them you like their stuff. I think I will give a couple more minutes. Would you mind if I did a poem just to kind of tide us over? Feels a bit weird going after all of those poems, but I do have a poem that kind of sums up a lot of the plugs that I've done this evening in a much simpler way. So let's just say we did that. This is called The Poets Are Hungry. Because the poets are hungry. No one's buying merch, but that hasn't stopped the hunger. And what's to happen when the money stops, I wonder. I remember the day they came, crawling through the streets, the low moans of mad couplets in search of things to eat. We didn't see this coming. We missed every single sign. We could have saved society just by following them online. People tried to stop them. If only they'd known better. Our only hope against this horde was hidden in their newsletter. Oh, the imagery I have seen hiding in this laundromat. A punter picked clean apart in 13 seconds flat. They snatched him so swiftly. In a moment, he was toast. He might have made it to tomorrow if he just liked one more post. The poets have stripped the city. The military scared and running. All of this avoidable with slightly easier funding. They have taken the capital, groaning enough is enough. Of course, now it seems so simple. Could have just shared their stuff. An anthology of horrors, a world brought to its end. So go see poetry while you can, and maybe, definitely, bring a friend. Thank you. Will the owner of a red Ford Focus please stop revving your engine outside? It's upsetting my puppy. Now that I've got that off my chest. Unfortunately, the time of this event doesn't allow me to really stretch this as much as I want. So what we'll do, and I will allow a cheer for individuals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the runner-up, which you are allowed to cheer for, of course, and then the winner. And I'm reading in those two because the runner-up and the winner, as I said at the start, will both qualify for the Grand Slam final in August. And again, if you want to come along to that, last year we did it with the Edinburgh International Book Festival. We had a 400 plus people in-house, but then it was also available online, and we really want to try and keep that accessibility. So again, if you can't be there, keep an eye on our social media. Find a way to support your Heat champions, to support your local favorites. But I should tell you who those are. Your runner-up. Oh, I like it. Oh yeah, this is definitely allowed. Your West Heat runner-up is Spencer Mason! And your winner, who will go home with the invoice for £200 and get to raise this beautiful belt, is Emma Clare! Emma, would you like to join me on stage? Your champion! Raise it up! Emma Clare! take it back to your seat for just now? Don't worry, I'll be back for it later. Don't worry. Can I just get one more massive round of applause for every single slammer that you have seen this evening? It has been a truly incredible night, and they deserve all the applause that we can throw to them. So all of your slammers, thank you so, so much. Keep that applause going for the wonderful staff here at the Paisley Book Festival, the Paisley Town Hall. For our sensational judges who have had one of the hardest jobs in the world this evening. And give yourself a round of applause because, again, without you guys, this does not happen. Thank you so, so much for being here. I am sure that there is much more I could say, but for now, all I will say is just thank you for being here. This has been the Loud Poets West Heat Slam. I've been your host, Mark Gallie. You guys have been fucking incredible, and we will see you next time. Good night.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, and make sure to ring that bell icon so you don't miss any updates from us in the future. If you want to go that extra mile and support us a little further, we do have a Patreon channel with loads of exclusive goodies, and you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. We appreciate your help, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.